Hi everyone, it's Terry here from nutsaboutsstamping.com. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. This week I'm going to show you how to create a Halloween card when you don't have a Halloween stamp set. And I'm going to do that with the help of my Big Shot and my Sheltering Tree stamp set. I'm also going to share a lot of tips and tricks along the way, so listen closely as we go. My card base is going to be basic gray. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5 and I've scored it on the 4.25 mark. I chose basic gray because I wanted a darker color for Halloween, but I didn't really want something that was black, so I didn't choose basic black. Some of the other gray colors or tones that we have in the catalog would work well too, but for me I wanted something that was a little bit darker but not too dark. I'm going to set this aside for a minute. And I'm going to do some die cutting. I need to create a template that I'm going to use on the front of my card. So I've got my magnetic platform, and on top of that I put my bottom standard cutting pad. I've got just a scrap piece of very vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to use a layering circle framelit. I chose the size of this cardstock because I'm going to use this circle as a template, and I need some space around it. Hang in there and you'll understand why in a minute. I'm going to put my top standard cutting pad on and I'm going to run it through my Big Shot. And I'm going to probably save this and use it on another project. But really, the reason that I did this die cut was because I wanted this to become a template. I have a layer of Whisper White cardstock that is going to go on the front of my basic gray card in a few minutes. And I want to use this template to create a sun that will be on my card. I don't have a perfect circle stamp to make a sun, so I thought maybe I would use my layering circles framelits and see if that works. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sponge some color onto this template to create my sun. I think it's also going to add a little bit of a spooky texture to it, but let's see. So we sell these sponges in the catalog. I will make sure that I post the page number in the notes section. And what I do is when I get these sponges, I actually cut them with my paper snips into little triangles, and then I dedicate these triangles to lighter tones or darker tones, and I reuse them over and over and over. I want to use crushed curry for my sun color, for one of my sun colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab my sponge right onto the ink pad, and then I'm just going to dab it onto my cardstock with this circle around it, like so. And I'm just sort of dabbing up and down and maybe doing a little twist on it. Now I'm going to leave this template on here, and I'm going to bring in Pumpkin Pie, which is my second color. And I'm just going to turn my sponge to another section, and then I'm going to dip my sponge into the Pumpkin Pie, and let's add a little bit of an orange just to create sort of that Halloween-y kind of approach to my sun. Ooh, I am really liking that. Click like if you like it too. And I hope you'll try this idea because I think it's really cool. And it adds, again, if I left it just crushed curry, it maybe wouldn't have quite the Halloween flavor I'm looking for. Now the next thing I'm going to do is bring in the tree from the Sheltering Tree stamp set, and I'm going to use my basic gray ink. And because this is a really large stamp, I'm actually going to do the reverse of what I would normally do. I'm going to stamp my ink pad down onto my stamp using a gentle tapping and kind of twisting motion. Hopefully I have lots of ink on there. And then I am going to stamp this down right on top of the tree. I'm going to use a fair bit of pressure. Let's hope this worked. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, what do you think? Do you like that? All right, I am very happy with it. So let me get some of these things out of the way and we'll finish off this card with a few other elements. The next thing I'm going to do is attach a piece of Country Lane Designer Series paper to the front of my card. I love this color because it's got the crushed curry color, which is what I've used on the sun, and it also has a little bit of a design or a texture to it. But before I attach it, I have 3 strips of cardstock. I've got 2 in basic gray and 1 in crushed curry, and I want to attach these strips to this Designer Series paper before I attach it to my card. So I'm going to start off with one of the strips. I have this silicone sheet because my strips are quite narrow and my snail adhesive is a little bit wider, so I won't get leftover adhesive on my grid paper that then becomes a sticky mess. All right, so I'm going to put 1 gray strip, and then in between I'm going to use some crushed curry. There's another strip. And I want to angle it. I just think it would be really pleasing to the eye. Whoop. Like so. See how this is taking shape? And then I'll do 1 final strip. Try and get the same kind of angle. Hang on, I'll show you in a second if you can't see it on camera. Okay, so there we go. I've got these 3 strips. Now I'm going to turn this over. Cool pattern on the other side too, isn't it? I love our Designer Series paper. It's always so hard to choose which side I want to use. All right, and then I'm going to cut the overhang like so. So that now I have another interesting detail to the front of my card. You should try this idea with leftover strips of cardstock. If you save everything like I do, then this is a great idea for using up some of these strips. Okay, my card is taking shape. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to add my layer, but before I do that, I just decided, because I'm making this up as I go along, I want a layer of basic gray underneath this. So I'll be back in a moment and I'll add that layer and then we'll finish off the card. All right, I'm back, and what I did was I grabbed a scrap piece of basic gray and I cut it 1/8 of an inch larger than my Whisper White layer. Now the reason that I decided to add this basic gray layer was I felt like it would take away a little bit of the competition with the stripes underneath and really draw your eye to focus on the element on the top, which is really where I want your eye to go, is on the tree. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this down, and now I'm ready to adhere it to the front of my card. Now I want one final detail. Now I am perfectly happy with the card as it is, but people might think it's a fall card. They may not think that it's a Halloween card. So enter the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set. It's a set of 2, and there's this little trick or treat stamp. So I have mounted that onto a clear block, and I'm going to bring in my basic gray. I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it down, and I am going to punch it out like so, and then I am going to add it to the front of my card. Bring this silicone pad in again. Like so. And there we go. I've got a really cute Halloween card idea that I created with the help of my Big Shot, the Itty Bitty Greetings stamp set, and the Sheltering Tree stamp set. I hope you like this card. If you do, I would appreciate if you click the like button and also click that little bell image that's on your home page when you're watching this video. And if you click that bell, it'll send you a reminder when I publish my next video. For a complete listing of everything I used and all of the measurements for the cardstock, please head over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. Hey, and while you're on my blog, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletters. I send a free newsletter each week with, right now, I've got a Christmas series of Christmas cards, gift ideas, bags, and tags that will help you craft for the holiday season this year. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I'll see you next week. I hope you create something beautiful today too. Bye.